Next question is from Mama to Mace. Which is better for you, whole or low-fat milk?
All right, so
Whole milk.
So long, so long as as calories are not in the conversation here. In other words, if the whole milk is making you overeat, then we can make the argument that low fat would be better. But let's just say that calorically, caloric intake is good, everything else is fine, all things being considered, so we can make a direct comparison. Whole milk is healthier. In fact, I believe, and maybe Doug can confirm this, that non-fat milk was connected to bone fractures, to bone fractures. You might be thinking, how's that possible? Because milk is supposed to be good for your bones. Well, the vitamin D that is in whole milk or that is in milk is fat soluble. So if you drink low fat or non-fat milk, you're not absorbing the fat soluble vitamins that are essential to help strengthen and build bone. Whole milk has all the essential nutrients, fats, proteins. It has some carbohydrates.
It's balanced.
You can now absorb your fat soluble vitamins. It's the way that milk comes as a package. Yeah. So low fat, by the way, low fat and non-fat milk is a relic of the fat is bad for you era.
Aren't you going to get more of the lactose than low fat as well, as you remove a lot of the fat nutrients out of whole milk?
It's the same. It's just now.
Well, it's the same, but now that's more highlighted.
It's now just sugar protein in there. But yeah, it's a what does that say?
Low fat, low milk intake. Oh, it's low milk, not low fat. Sorry.
Yeah. Look up non-fat milk and
bone fractures.
Yeah, bone fractures. But yeah, this is a relic of the fat scare craze of the 80s and 90s. That's when, before that, nobody had non-fat milk. In the 60s, 70s, who the hell bought that?
I'm trying to think of a situation with a whole food where you extract something out of it and it's ever superior than it in its natural state. Is there an example of that? Like you just talked about the eggs the other day and how now more stuff has come out that the whole egg is,
as long as it's the edible parts, right?
Right. So where is it where we have found taking a whole food, taking something away from it is superior to it in its whole state?
That's a good point. Yeah, I don't think
there's for trying to make some kind of pharmaceutical out of it.
No, not that. Not condensing it and then turning it into a drug or doing another. Like where is it nutritionally healthier for you ever? I don't think there's. I can't personally off the top of my head. I cannot think of a situation where you would take a whole food.
Well, here let's think of
extract something from it.
Let's think of some examples. Whole eggs versus egg whites. By the way, that's also a relic of
grains,
of the fat, is bad for you era, right? Whole eggs better for muscle protein synthesis, builds more muscle, burns more body fat when calories are controlled for. It's got brain healthy nutrients. It's got folate in it and other nutrients that are essential for brain health. So egg whites, when all things are controlled for, are less healthy than whole eggs. Let's look at fruit. You could take fruit with its fiber and its skin and its seeds and all that, and you can extract just the juice. Now you have natural soda, essentially. You just have sugar water. Yeah. But whole fruit doesn't have nearly the potential negative effects of fruit juice.
Well, when you say like a wheat or something, because you have to process it down in order to make it digestible.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. There are certain plants that, in order to be able to consume them, we have to
strip it all the way down to
Yeah, that's a good point. Because you can't eat wheat in its
comparing
natural form.
like a tree to like the fruit it bears and saying you probably shouldn't eat the roots and the trunk. It's not going to be just the fruit for it. So I don't think that's even an example of that. Like I can't think of a whole food where we extract something from it or take something it and then it's healthier.
I'm telling you, for all of history, when we consumed milk, up until this baloney hypothesis that it was fat that was causing these heart attacks that were starting to appear, up until the 7-country study, which was highly messed up and it was fake. It really didn't prove anything because they took out the countries that didn't fit that model. Up until that point, nobody drank anything other than whole milk. Then all of a sudden, fat became the enemy, and there was a market for the dairy industry acted, right? Oh my God, everybody's getting scared of dairy because of this fat content. How do we continue to sell milk? Oh, low fat and non-fat milk. When we were kids and you went to your friend's house and you had a bowl of cereal, 9 out of 10 times it was low fat or non-fat milk. 9 out of 10 times. My house was the only one that had whole milk. Why? Because we thought it was disgusting. My parents were like, who's going to drink this water? Let's have some whole milk. But that's really what it comes from. So as long as your calories are controlled and you're drinking milk whole, don't go non-fat or low fat. It's a waste of time.